We live in a culture that tells us all the time, every day, that your worth is based on how much money you have or how much money you make. And even as like somebody who knows that's not the case, it's really hard to let go of those really deeply conditioned internalized values. I'm 41 and I still struggle with money. It's there's various reasons for it aside from capitalism. I mean, I have skills I could make money with, but having executive function resulting from all sorts of things, trauma, uh, PTS, like yeah, CPTSD, ADHD, whatever. Like continually beset by struggles, many of which are hard to show because they're in here. Um, and I see my friends, people younger than me, making more money and being financially stable, sometimes giving me money or giving me rides to places or letting me stay in their house. And it's really hard not to like feel like I've failed, not to feel like inferior because I haven't like made enough money or I'm not making enough money currently or whatever. So I'm trying to reframe it and compare not having enough money to some other thing that just kind of happens to you because of various conditions that are largely beyond your control. You know, certainly not the same as disability, but with more and more disability acceptance, people are collectively realizing that, like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you just because you can't do as much as another person, or just because you can't walk, or just because you can't hear. That's nothing that doesn't reflect poorly on you in any way, or have a disease or something like that. Um, it's easier for us to sympathize with certain things than others, I think, and this sort of the great American myth of individualism and quote unquote hard work really has us like by the balls. Anyway, so I'm just trying to what I want to do is sort of like normalize the very real and shameless condition of being broke or without permanent housing as I am right now. Because I've had a lot of friends be generous to me in the last few months since I've not had a permanent place. And it's really nice knowing that I've made enough friends and connections and like good people who want to help others. And I would do the same myself. Um, but I'm always reminded every time I stay at somebody's place, I'm reminded, oh, this person, this friend of mine, peer of mine, probably younger than me, um, has it more together than I do. They have a house, they have a car, they have a steady partner or whatever, and it's really hard not to get down on myself and feel inferior, like I've failed. You know, if anything, I've been failed. I was failed by my parents and my culture. Now, obviously, this isn't it's everyone else's fault, so I'm just going to sit here and cross my arms kind of thing. I mean, no matter what caused the situation, I'm still the one responsible to get out of it. But I think it's easier to act, easier to make a plan, and easier to follow through with a plan when you're not harboring shame around it, when you're not carrying the weight of feeling like you failed or you're bad or something um, because you didn't happen to be very good at surviving a capitalist hellscape. Anyway, yeah, it's perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with you. This is a note to myself. I'm just going to repeat myself. There's nothing wrong with you just because you're broke or something right now. Doesn't matter why you're. It doesn't even matter why you're broke. I mean, it's nobody would go broke on purpose. Nobody would purposefully put themselves out, make themselves destitute. We're all trying, and in a system that is designed to keep a certain number of us basically failing and keep another group of us afraid to fail constantly. I forgot where I was going with that sentence, but anyway, that's some thoughts on being broke and homeless. No shame.